we don't know today what God is doing in the long trajectory of our lives. We're assuming, I guess, we know not to depend on tomorrow. James teaches us that. Don't presume that tomorrow I'm going to go and do such and such, but instead say, if the Lord wills, tomorrow I will go, buy and sell and do those things. But I think that doesn't negate that we should at least be planning, long range. And it's really hard to look up out of the moment that we're in right now, the circumstances we're in right now, and wonder, what is the Lord doing for us doing with us and through us long term, And I know that we're sort of unique as a seminary, not totally unique, but this is different than some seminaries, in that we have guys that are in a lot of different, phases of life. We have guys that have been in ministry for a long time. We have guys that are, coming out of college and studying here and sort of what we would say preparing for ministry. And we have guys that are sort of in the middle of that are somewhat new in ministry and also studying in seminary. For all of us, we need to remember that the Lord intends to accomplish some work in our lives, something through us. And that even if we don't know what that is, we do know that where we're at and what we're doing right now is where the Lord has planted us. That the Lord has providentially ordered everything in our life that we would be here together in this moment, preparing together. And in all of the confusion and chaos and uncertainty that is part of life, we know that the Lord has for us something that transcends what we can just see right now. Later on, in Hebrews, Abraham is commended. He's commended elsewhere in the New Testament as well for his faith, for believing God, who told him to leave his family, leave his country, leave his familiar culture behind to a land that he would show him, and promised to do actually unimaginable things through Abraham, to bless all the nations of the earth, to curse everyone who curses him, to bless everyone that blesses him. And even if Abraham could have understood the full scope of what the Lord would do, for instance, in the Old Testament, how could he have imagined what he would do through sending Jesus into the world to create a royal priesthood, a holy nation of all the nations of the earth together under him? It's unthinkable. And so I want us, as we're reading and we're studying together and we're going through the work of seminary, don't become discouraged. What is the Lord doing today? How is this going to connect to the bigger picture of what the Lord is doing? But instead, trust him. Look to him in faith. Work really hard at whatever he's given you to work at today, even if that doesn't seem like what you in your mind envision as being ministry. Because what does ministry really look like?